Hello and welcome to System Administration 101, and I will be showing you how you can install VMware Workstation Pro on Windows. This works from Windows 10 to 11, and let's get started. We're gonna look up VMware Workstation. Desktop Hypervisor solution should be the first link that we have to click on. Download Fusion Workstation. This requires a Broadcom account. If you don't have one, sign up. It's worth it. The only problem is we're not going to be able to download it right now. Broadcom's website is currently broken and soon will be going under maintenance for this, so it really doesn't work. However, as for myself, I do have a backup link for this, and in the case if it works, we should be able to type in VMware Workstation Pro in the search. There should be a Windows version available, and if we click through, we should get to this point, and we can then go click on HTTPS download. In that point, it should start a download, and we should be able to just open it. Accept the user account control. Now we're going to click on next. Accept the terms in the license agreement. We're going to just click on next. We can uncheck this if we want to. I'm honestly just going to uncheck it. Next, install. This shouldn't take too long on an SSD. On a hard drive, this may take longer. After the installation is finished, we can just start using it. There we are. The only reason why you don't even have to activate VMware Workstation is because Broadcom made it free. So, by all means, this is basically just a free piece of software. And that's amazing. And we can just make a virtual machine. I'm just going to make a blank one over here. I'm not going to do anything special over here. I'm just going to do Windows 95. If we're doing a virtual machine, I would recommend using store virtual disk as a single file, mainly for performance reasons. And you can also customize the hardware as much as we would like. So in this case, I could put, for example, 64 megabytes, or if I have modern Windows, I could probably put this like at 2 gigs, 8 gigs. Really depends on how much we're willing to give. However, we should keep an eye out on our computer specifications. In this case, 16 gigabytes of memory. We cannot go above or exactly at 60 gigabytes. We have to keep in mind the availability. So in this case, I only have 12.1 gigabytes of RAM to work with. I cannot go beyond here. So a good safe spot for like a 16 gigabyte system with no other RAM intended applications would be probably 8 gigabytes. If this had more RAM, we could start jumping this up as much as we like. As for processors, we can adjust how many physical processors the virtual machine will be detecting. They will all be virtualized, of course, so there's no need to worry about this being messed up. Sometimes you will be seeing like a warning like this. Yeah, that does mean eventually you are going at a limit. Normally I would prefer having one processor, especially if it's a system with one processor, of course. So in this case, our home computers only have one processor, but we probably have a lot, of course. So we can start putting 4 cores, 2 cores, whatever we really want. As long as we know the cores that are inside of our computer, we know how many we can work with. This is a virtual machine, so I have given it 4 cores on a single socket. So I could use 2 cores or 3 cores, but probably best to not go all the way. We can also attach our ISO image for any operating systems that we're working with. We can also add a floppy drive. We can add extra network adapters, a USB controller. Though it should already be added in most virtual machines. Since this is set to Windows 95, we're not seeing this, but it should be there. We can also add any parallel, serial. If we didn't have an audio interface, we can also add that. We can also add a generic SCSI device and a TPM. And yeah. We can also go into our display settings and do accelerated 3D graphics if you want to. We can also set our video memory for the virtual machine to be able to work with. We can also adjust if we want the audio to even work. We can also specify which audio device should be used and echo cancellation for microphone input. Network adapters. The most important part is if you want this exposed to your physical network and have this accessible by other devices, you want to use bridged like this. By default, NAT or host only, as long as you're not doing anything that involves other devices communicating with your device, this should be perfectly fine. If you really need it, use bridged. Now we can click close, click finish, and we can start our virtual machine. And there we go. No. Yeah, we can just ignore this. However, in this case, it is running. We have a virtual machine. That's all nice. And that was it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.